I'm an indie filmmaker from Columbus, Ohio. I made a documentary about a cyberstalker, and this story is just getting really weird. Even though I was granted a Civil Stalking Protection Order and he was found in contempt of court, he's still getting scarier. These are just vlogs to document what he's doing online and how social media companies are doing nothing to curb his behavior.
We have a film that showed up at this film festival that has no local relationship whatsoever to the area. Some random filmmaker from Columbus, Ohio, who just pops up out of nowhere in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, puts this film into a festival. So we're talking 5 years since the incident in St. Joseph, Missouri, and the film is still not released. Yet it's being circulated all over the fucking world.
We got accepted into the Red Rose Film Festival in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. I generally love to go to the film festivals. I love sitting in the theater with an audience and seeing how they react to the movie. You want to know if they're going to laugh when you want them to laugh. You want to know if they feel tension when you want them to feel it. And the only way to do that is to sit in that dark room and watch the images on the screen and hear the sound and to kind of just feel and hear how everybody reacts. As an indie filmmaker, that's a rare and precious thing, so I love to go. A Q&A is a fantastic chance to find out, what did people think of the film? What maybe did you do in the film that they didn't understand or did you not make clear? To me, it's a learning experience. You're not browbeating somebody into your point of view. You're hearing their point of view. And then you're accepting that criticism of your art and taking it in and learning how to either accept it or make changes.
This is consumer fraud. This is not just a movie. There is so much more going on behind the scenes, and the prosecutor and the sheriff and the police and law enforcement and the FBI need to be involved in this situation, because Mr. Ross just showed up in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, pulling a consumer fraud scheme. And he used every single person in the town to do it. He used the city officials through the various boards of director positions. He used the local media. He lied to the film festival. He scammed every human being with no. He just took advantage of every human being.
Just like previous film festivals, this is like Groundhog's Day from a vlog I already made about a different film festival. Of course, he started harassing the film festival, the media in the town, the city council.
Hi, I just want to update you on the legal situation that's occurring here. So essentially what I've provided is evidence that Mr. Ross is engaged in racketeering, consumer fraud, various crimes. I've notified you that I've been interviewed by the FBI over his crimes. Essentially what you're doing by protecting him and refusing to speak to me and give me equal time is making yourself an accessory to these racketeering crimes. You've created a situation with WGAL as well. I have sent all of my contacts to the FBI, to various parts of your festival, to various journalists. Carolyn at New York Times has been watchdogging this situation for the last several days. I expect a call back today. If not, we'll get to talk when you're deposed. Thank you.
I don't understand. That has got to be the single weirdest defense, to reenact everything you're accused of in the film as a defense of how you're being falsely accused. How does he not see the irony? For some reason, he keeps expecting film festivals to do some kind of investigation. They're not law enforcement. They're not journalists. They're a film festival. There is no investigations. They don't investigate things. How does that even work?
In every city where Mr. Ross screens a social media monster and local media learns about it and film festival learns about the depths of his schemes and scams. So when he's sitting there and he's at these film festivals, inside his head, he's like, I'm scamming all these idiots. I'm pulling the wool over their eyes. And I don't understand why it's too much to ask for me to have equal time.
Equal time? You want equal time? Motherfucker, make a film pay to submit it, and then get your goddamn equal time. No one's going to do that for you. You're not owed that. Make a film and submit it.
And the thing that makes me angry about this fucking film festival is how the fuck could this film make it into a festival and not one human being associated with this festival could stop for a second and say, hey, wait a minute, this story's crazy. We should contact this guy. What? Nobody could look at my website. When they watched the movie Social Media Monster, nobody went to my website and noticed the massive disparity in what is said in that film and what is published on my website. Nobody noticed that.
Berdyck found the owner of the theater from the film festival and wrote a bad review of his children's book just because they played the documentary there. I don't understand how, writing a bad review of his children's book is in some way a positive thing or makes people empathetic to his point of view. Seems just plain rude to me.
This is just like when he says, we're protecting the names of the film festival so he doesn't harass them. No, he's not. Look at the latest post on the Social Media Monster page. He doesn't want people to know the other side of the story. If he was trying to prevent harassment, he wouldn't have posted any of these award laurels on this film page to begin with.
We played at 4:30 p.m. on a Friday, opening the festival. We only had 12 people in the audience when the film started. I mean, a few more people wandered in as it played, but that's 12 to 15 other people that hadn't seen the film before, so that's always exciting for me. And 2 of the people in the audience were festival directors from other festivals that said they're going to play the movie at their festival. So it ain't the number of people, it's definitely the quality of the people that were there at the screening.
So we're talking about a community that has nothing to do with me. Mr. Ross just selected this community, started a bunch of madness and drama, and he dusted his hands off and walked away.
I never understood how he can say that I caused madness and chaos and harassment.
So this is going on a little bit further. The situation has now moved into Lancaster. He did basically do all of this. And anybody who's suffered impacts can sue Mr. Ross for damages for what he did, for negligence, I didn't cause this, and I'm not responsible for this. I'm not the person that incited all of this.
How does that work? How is he not responsible for what he does and says? He's literally admitting to harassing people and causing madness and chaos. But somehow he gets absolved of that because he just says that it's me that's doing it. It's also really weird that he's trying to say that these people can sue me for what he's doing. How does that work?
Why don't we interview Matt? Why don't we give him equal time?
Why would the local media owe him equal time? None of this makes sense.
If Mr. Ross was just making a film, he would have First Amendment protected rights. Don't you think that is an act of a man who's trying to silence me and deter me from doing my work?
No one is silencing Matthew Berdyck. He is the noisiest human being that you can't shut him up, but claims he's being silenced. All he does is talk into his phone all day long, every day. All anybody wants is for him to stop threatening and harassing people. I didn't file a defamation lawsuit to stop him from being an activist. I filed a defamation lawsuit so he'll stop lying about me. I filed a Civil Stalking Protection Order because he threatened me with violence. If he was just doing activism, who the hell would care? But he's not even doing activism.
This emotional distress I'm experiencing was caused by this film festival. It was caused by the people running this film festival. It was caused by the journalists that shared all of this content, that didn't do their jobs, that couldn't detect a good story, that couldn't take 1 second of their life to make sure they weren't destroying an innocent person's life who happens to be fighting for the health and safety of 100 million U.S. citizens.
All that happened is I submitted a film, they accepted it, they played it, we got nominated, I went to the screening, and then I went home. That's all I did.